Okay, so this video is going to be a bit different than the last few. Basically, I need you guys' help. I don't like the idea of setting up a Patreon page, nothing against the people that do, but I've set up an Etsy page where I'm making, things like little coasters. I've been making arrows and bows. I might actually sell some previous rocket projects that I've made. This one hit the ground at like 600 miles an hour after going about 32,000 feet, Mach 2.8. I think I'm going to make a wine rack holder and sell it on Etsy. So just little things like that. And I'm trying to raise funds to be able to fly a rocket to space. I have a few really large projects I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I'm a college student, I work, I don't have the money to really be able to pull it off. And at the same time, I want to get microphones, good cameras and everything so I can document and show you guys what I'm doing. This is the dart for a Super Loki. So this is the second stage for this guy back here. And I was somehow able, I don't know if that's in the whole frame or not, but I was somehow able to get a hold of these are completely brand new, there's no propellant in them or anything, and these things launched the second stage well over 300,000 feet. So these guys literally flew to space, and all I need to do is basically put propellant in it, get electronics, and fly it. Still, the propellant's pretty expensive. I make bows too, like traditional long bows that are backed with like carbon fiber Kevlar. They're actually pretty inexpensive for me to make, a little time consuming. But if that's something you're interested in, if you have any ideas, let me know. Really, I'm just trying to raise funding for these projects. Another project that I've been really wanting to do for a while, and I have everything for it. I'm super excited. I have everything for it. I just need to be able to pay for the machining costs and things like that. So this sugar rocket was an O. I've got another one. I already have the casing and everything. It'll be twice the propellant, twice the power, half the weight of this thing. And here's the casing for it. Get it in frame, maybe. But here's the casing for it. So this is just the motor. I would like to put a second stage on it if I can, but I've had this thing lying around for quite a while. If I put a second stage on it, it could potentially reach 3/4 of the way to space with sugar. For this guy right here, I would be using a composite propellant, and it is a bit more expensive. It's definitely more consistent than some of the experimental propellants I've been working with. I will continue to put out videos that for me are relatively cheap and easy to make, like the silicone motor videos. I intend to revisit the styrofoam propellant. I also have a few ideas of epoxy powered rockets. I'm really excited, but I'm in a position that I can't do this without you guys. I just don't have the money to be able to pull this stuff off. I think a lot of you can understand that, college student expenses. But I finally got a halfway decent workstation. I got some lighting. I need to get better audio equipment. The camera that's recording right now is about 7 years old. My high-speed camera needs to be fixed up. I don't want to look like I'm just trying to ask for people's money. A lot of the smaller projects I've been working on are relatively inexpensive, and I can put out a video every few weeks easily. But for the larger projects, like I intend to try to fly a rocket to space, that's going to cost more than, a few $100s, for sure. There's just so many possibilities. I just don't have the money to pull them off yet. And yeah, I mean, even $10 is awesome. These little coasters turned out pretty good, I think. And they cost me virtually nothing to make, a little bit of time. And, if you want some nice wooden coasters, I've even made some stone coasters, arrowheads. Just check out my Etsy page, and you feel like, buying something, all that money is going to go towards funding these projects. I want to make all this information publicly available. I think space is kind of for everybody. You know, we have DIY, you know, airplane designs, and maybe a little bit sketchy, but I'm hoping that someday in the future that, you know, launching a rocket to space could be just as feasible as building your own ultralight. That might sound crazy, but why not? Yeah, with you guys' help, maybe, just maybe, we can fly a rocket to space. Still got a ways to go, but all the materials right here. There's no reason it's not possible. I mean, there's a potential that I might even auction or sell this thing off too if somebody's really interested in it. If you do purchase anything from me, if you buy anything off my Etsy store, I will also probably write your name on, well, maybe not on the side of the rocket that's going to go to space because it'll probably burn off. But I'll probably write your name on the inside of the rocket and launch it to space. If I get to the point, maybe even offer payload space. You know, even $10, and I would be not internally grateful. I don't think that's not the right word. Externally, eternally. No, eternally. I said internally, right? Internally grateful. Eternally grateful, not internally grateful. Man, English is a difficult language, even for somebody that grew up with it. Another announcement, the part 3 of the silicone rocket is in progress. I'm on the very last bit of editing, and I've got one more static test with it. So stay tuned if you want to see that. That'll be coming out probably in the next week and a half. If you can, subscribe, click the bell if you want to get notifications. If you don't click the bell, you won't get notifications on my new videos. Hopefully, as time moves on, I'll get better at editing, better at filming, have better audio, better equipment. I really appreciate you guys. Even just watching, subscribing, whatever, I really appreciate it.